Hello, this is Bobby with Madness Labs. I'm just doing a quick screencast to kind of show off the new Madness Engine command line tool that we've been working on. It's basically an application development assistant. It's meant to kind of run the build process and kind of just allow you to not worry about all that stuff and just build your application. So, number one thing is head on over to npm and grab our obnoxiously long npm install command. That's going to install the engine and all of the other global dependencies that we rely on. We're going to be working on a future update where we'll take all of these extra dependencies off and you'll just install the engine. But for now, just have mercy on our souls. So let's go ahead and cd or go over wherever you want your application to be made. And then you can now run the new engine command. So we can do engine start to make a new application. And then the third parameter is going to be the third parameter is actually going to be the name of the application. So it's basically just going to copy a boilerplate Madness Ionic from our GitHub repository, and then it's going to copy it into that directory and then run npm install on it. So there's no super secret magic behind the scenes here. The difference between what the engine offers that the regular Madness Ionic repo doesn't is the fact that the dependencies for the engine are global. So they aren't per project as you typically have with like a Webpack build or even the Madness Ionic repo. So this allows it to install faster. It allows us to push out updates to your entire build process, and allows you to not have to do that on every single project that you're working on. We have some other stuff in the works to hopefully make your life even easier, but for right now, this is actually pretty awesome sauce in itself. So our application is installed, as you see, and now we can actually change directory into Madness Barcode. Now we can actually run, let's actually open it up in code. So now here in code, I'm going to open back up my terminal, and I'm just going to run gulp. So gulp is the build process that we use. It pulls in all of the tasks from the engine. So that allows us to make updates and to change things and to fix things without breaking our application. You can see that now that we've run the gulp command, it pops open the web browser and it's ready to start being worked on. So let's go ahead and open our home page, and we're using pug, so home.pug. And let's just add in the classic hello world. And if we switch back to the browser, we'll notice that it's already there. So within a matter of milliseconds, it actually is live updating the content. I shouldn't say live, sorry. I shouldn't say it's not hot reloading. It is actually reloading the browser, except for CSS changes, in which case it actually does hot reloading. So now let's go ahead and get this baby running on Android. So the first thing that's really neat about the engine is that basically it all revolves around the engine.json file, which is basically the backbone structure for the build process and for just kind of the layout of your application. So we can actually make environment files that overwrite pieces of this. So for instance, you'll see here that this is not building for mobile. It is, as by default, when you run the gulp command, it runs it just for the desktop. So we want to make a new environment file for working on an Android app, or working on an app, I guess, in general. So let's just rename our environment.sample to environment-app. And now let's set the mobile to true, local to false, and there we go. So now that allows us to pass in an E flag, and that will actually build for this environment. So we can run gulp android, which is our helpful Android command, and -e for environment, and then pass in the actual environment we want to build for. And so the app corresponds with what you named after the hyphen in the environment file. So we're going to run that. And what this is going to do is just basically run a build for the app environment that we've set up in the environment file. and then it's going to actually then run Android run, which is a wrapper around Ionic's run command for Android. So Android hasn't actually been installed on here. So as you can see over to the left, it has installed the actual the Android platform and is now building the actual installing the dependencies, building the Java package, and then it's going to actually pop it open in the emulator to the right here. This will take a little bit on the first run. They get better as they get better after the first run. And there we go. Our application is open. And we see exactly on Android what we saw on the desktop, but tailored to a mobile device. So now let's actually do what we said we were going to do. Let's actually spin up a barcode scanner. So let's jump onto Enjin Cordova documentation. And we'll go ahead and copy, install, run that. And that will go ahead and install the barcode scanner Cordova plugin. Okay. And now we just copy the code that we need to run the barcode scanner. And let's jump into our home.ts. And let's make a new method called scanMe. Paste our code in there. And we are going to be pulling this in and putting it on this. So now we need to pass in our dependency for the Cordova barcode scanner. Once we've done that, you can see that no more red squigglies. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and console log our barcode data. And now we need to go back in our home page and let's make a button so that we can actually put this content, or so that we can actually initiate this method. So a button, com, icon, ion, iOS, barcode, and we'll give an ng click. So control is what we've aliased this as far as the page. You can set this inside the engine.json. So now with all that running, we can just rerun that gulp android-e=app, and it will again run a build for our actual files, and then it will actually run the Android build and then deploy to our emulator. And if we had our Android phone plugged in and developer mode on, it would actually run on our Android phone over the wire as well. So give it a second here. Allow us. There we go. Okay, so there's our Scan Me button, and when I click it, it's going to jump into the barcode scanner. And I don't think I can scan a Genymotion bouncing eyeballs emote, so I'm going to just assume that that was working. So there you go. In a matter of a couple minutes, we have spun up an application that will run in Android and on your PC and the web. We've imported a barcode scanner and we've gotten it running. And we've just scratched the surface on what the engine can do. So hopefully you'll tune back in for more lessons and things that you can learn about the engine and just build you some really, really cool hybrid apps. Thanks for watching, guys.